Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Vids on the Fly, episode 7 with Crusty Canuck. Now, I put a video up last night, episode 346. It was titled Badgering Insults, Deflections, and Still No Government. Now, I got a copyright claim on that. It's not going to affect my channel, nor will it affect my ability to speak my mind. However, we're getting more and more tech influence dictating what we can put on and what we can't put on. Now, my intention with that segment in question was the fact of how phony Krista Freeland is and how she's basically buttering everything up to Bill Maher. Now, Bill Maher is a decent comedian, a decent critic, decent commentator, and, all-around nice guy. I got no problems with him. But I'm also a paying customer for HBO Canada. Okay, it comes with a package with my television. I'm sure lots of you out there, you get that too. You get your packages through whatever cable service or satellite service, which is fine. So basically, you're paying for the service. Now, the time content they were upset with was between 24 minutes and 28, 29 minutes worth. So 5 minutes of their little clip from the Bill Maher show was in question, and yet I record roughly about eight and a half of it for my episode. So I don't see what their concern was basically with the copyright issue. Now, which brings me to a further point in regards to what's happening with Canada, the United States. To my American listeners and fans out there, nothing wrong with yous. To my Canadian fans and listeners out there, nothing wrong with yous. However, I, for one, and as many others, is getting sick and tired of this bullshit tech censorship. If both of our countries pride themselves on freedom of expression, then let us do it. If both of our countries pride ourselves of great artistic endeavors and actors and comedians and commentators and broadcasters alike, then let us fucking do it. Okay? If you're going to sit there and nitpick or put in a copyright claim, and I don't give a fuck how big you are, I really don't. Like, I'm not stealing your information. People at HBO, CBS, CBC, CTV, Global News, and all these big media and entertainment conglomerates, you're too big to fail. A little guy like me that makes a point that uses your show, which goes under fair claimant or claimant usage, I believe in the 1970s, a law came out which basically stated fair use notice disclaimer. A statement that acknowledges the use of copyrighted content on a website or video without authorization from the copyright owner. It also claims that the use of such content is legal under the doctrine of fair use, which allows for limited and transformative use of copyrighted content for purposes such as criticism, which I did, commentary, which I did, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and or research. Okay? So, there I've said it. Fair use. Now, if you don't like me using your material, then maybe you should make that effective, HBO. Or maybe there was some keyboard nerd that just didn't like me saying what I had to say about Miss Freeland and the plight of our countries. Now, let's get a few things straight here. Okay? We're all guilty of being the keyboard warrior. We're all guilty of having our points of view, which makes it that more important. Would you prefer we go out in the streets and start throwing bricks? Maybe taking shots at certain institutions, like some protesters have done in this country? Would that be sufficient? Would that make everything hunky-dory? Cute? No, it wouldn't be right, would it? Okay? So when someone tells me I can't say something, you better fucking tell me why, in clear and precise dialogue. Don't make us chase for answers, because you're just fueling the fire. The more we chase for answers, the more we want to research, and the more you end up with guys like me, with a silly toucan and dyed facial hair, speaking their minds. You know what I'm saying? So the powers that be, smarten up. Okay? We're not criminals. We're not idiots. Sorry we don't carry a certain dissertation or a certain degree or a certain diploma in whatever field you think is fit for us to speak our minds. I spent 20 years in the military, and I have witnessed some good things, some bad things, some terrible things. So I think I've earned my right 10 times fold to fucking say something. And I think I've done good by my friends, my family, my employers. And regardless of what's going to happen tomorrow in the name of the new tariffs that are going to hit our country, I think more and more Canadians and Americans and Brits and users of the social media platforms should speak out on it and stop trying to censor it. I mean, it doesn't matter what company you work for. Why do you think you have to censor people? Why do you think you have to stifle people's creativity? You may disagree with what somebody says. That doesn't mean you're right. Doesn't mean you're wrong either. But it's not right for you to stifle or censor. Right? I, for one, too, I'm getting sick and tired of a lot of these know-it-alls, especially politicians, that use family members' service or use their uncles or their grandfathers or their great-uncles' service as a platform to stand up and scream their bullshit to me or to others out there, especially when those individuals never served a goddamn day in their lives under any jurisdiction other than being a member of parliament or a member of provincial parliament or a member of legislation or a state legislature or a senator. So if you're going to sit and wag your finger at people and tell them what to do and what to think, then you're part of the problem. A problem we've been facing in North America now for the better part of 10 years. You can thank wokeism, you can thank the anti-capitalist idea, but then again, it turns around to be crony capitalist ideologies, where they can make the money and guys like me and other content creators can't. Now, would you prefer that I show my pectorals for you? Should I dance for you? Should I shake my hips for you? Maybe perhaps get an OnlyFans account to prove my worth? No. Even if I had the body, I wouldn't do it. Well, there's a little more self-respect that I have than that kind of garbage. Right? There's people out there that thrive off that kind of stuff. And hey, if it works for you, it works for you. It doesn't always work for everybody else. But I'm not going to sell myself short. So you, the wonderful fan base that does follow the Crusty Canuck podcast, whether it be on YouTube, on Rumble, or Apple, or everywhere else you get your podcasts, thank you very much for sticking by me and standing by me. Nonetheless, the problem is YouTube is probably the most popular platform I have. Excuse me. And it helps me get the word out there. But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, there will be links in my description at the end of this video where you can follow me on Rumble and Podbean and other places where you can get your podcasts and videos. Okay? So in the meantime, until this issue gets sorted out, because apparently according to YouTube rules, they have 30 days to understand, the claimant has 30 days. So it would be HBO or just some random nerd at HBO who doesn't like my content, thinks it's divisive or persuasive, then we'll have time to sort it out. But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, keep watching the Crusty Canuck podcast. I put time and effort into those episodes. I will sit around and I'll basically jot notes. What am I going to discuss? What I'm going to talk about? And I'm going to criticize the powers that be that I see fit. It doesn't faze me at all where they're from or how they do it. That's the joy of freedom of expression. That's the joy of freedom of speech. And there's many out there on both sides of the border that have tried to stifle it through Americans and through Canadians alike. Not to mention what's going on in Britain right now with people being jailed for posting something or disagreeing with something. Kind of creepy, don't you think? Hey? Something we should look after carefully. But for this Vids in the Fly, I just wanted to let you know out there that I wanted to probably redo the episode, try to edit it because they recommended that I edit it and they wouldn't let me edit it and they wouldn't let me touch it, basically. So it's still there, locked away. It just won't be displayed to the world. But if you want to see episode 346 of the Crusty Canuck podcast, go to Rumble or go to Apple. You'll see it there too. Or just check me out on Podbean, my podcast page. Check it out there at your leisure. Don't be shy. Comment there too. I could use some more comments, especially on the Rumble channel. I keep getting bombarded with all these people that want to make a great service for me and help me promote, which are basically shoddy little network scams that take $30 or $40 from a person, promote here and there for nothing, and then just disappear. So I need you, my real organic audience, to get out there and check it out too. My apologies for the issues that have happened the past 24 hours. The video actually ended up having about 241 views, which was great. I had a lot of people come out to see the premiere. Thank you very much. But in the same sense, I'm not getting the satisfaction that I think I deserve. And I'm not going to give the powers be the satisfaction they think they deserve. So here in a way, it's also a little protest. You know, caveat emptor, let the buyer beware. Every viewer, you take the chance when you watch something, when you see something, and so be it. You don't have to answer anybody. We don't have to answer anybody. I wasn't breaking the law. Just somebody at HBO got offended. And especially when, like I said, I'm a paying customer too. I have paid money to enjoy their product. I've watched their movies. I've watched the Bill Maher show. I've subscribed here, subscribed there. And it doesn't matter if I'm giving them $3 a month, $30 a month, or $300. You're a paying customer. And I want you, my wonderful audience, to understand that too, because we're so used to the cyber life, so used to going online, having conveniences, typing in a credit card number, paying for this, paying for that. You're still a paying customer. Okay? You're still paying for a service. And if they can't handle someone taking 4 or 5 minutes of a video that you watch, that you pay for, and you put it on something, then, you know, the fair use notice just is null and void. Why even bother? Right? So, on that note, I'm still going to fight this. I'm going to leave the video up on the tube. Okay? And like I say, if you want to see it, I do have it on my Rumble channel, which I put on my Twitter feed. And I'm not going to put it on my Instagram feed, however, but it is on my Facebook page, my Rumble page, my Podbean page, and on Apple Podcasts. Just look for the Crusty Canuck, and you'll see it there, folks. Anyhow, that's enough of my spiel and my hurt feelings for this morning. I will have a proper video up again tomorrow sometime. However, in the meantime, enjoy the Crusty Canuck podcast for all it's worth. I put a lot of work into it too. And a special thank you out there to all the people that have watched my last episode and my new subscribers. You guys are awesome. Don't ever change. Be as loyal as you can. Be as good as you can. Be good to people. And just, we got to keep swimming through this shit. And we're starting to stink. But, you know, let us take the notional shower, clean off the garbage, and keep persevering and keep carrying on, ladies and gentlemen. Right? There'll be more vids on the fly coming in the future too. Like I've said before in the podcast, I am working on characters. You know, their names will be Stubby Otter and Little Lulu by 2 by 3 by 45. I'll let you think of what those characters might be like. However, they will be coming in the future in the Crusty Canuck podcast. You'll see them in Sedgeways and maybe little skits in the works and all that too. But needless to say, ladies and gentlemen, I will keep you updated on this thing every time I come online. And in the meantime, just keep fighting the good fight and just do your thing. And don't let these little things get you. It pissed me off this morning when I got up and I noticed the notification. I was like, livid. But I'm okay now. I've had my coffee. I've had a nice healthy breakfast. I did a little workout this morning, so I feel good. That's right. That's right. And so should you, ladies and gentlemen. Anyhow, enough of my rambling. I'll definitely get an episode up for you tomorrow, for Tuesday, for the 4th. However, please enjoy this. Share this all over your social media platforms. Do not be shy, ladies and gentlemen. And help each other out in these trying times. Especially new content creators and Canadians that really care. Right? Once again, I'd like to remind my American audience, I'm not against you. You know, just Trump is saying some stupid shit. Okay, I get it. But he's getting things done, but then he's also wrecking things in the process too. And our leaders, well, they're wrecking things all the time. You know, it was in regards to what Miss Freeland said there on the Friday night show. Basically kissing Bill Maher's butt. You know, being all nice and cuddly, and yet she talks to all of us like we're children. So there's a bit of a contrast there too. If you need your reference, just look at Bill Maher's show from this past Friday on the 28th, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, I'm in Crusty Canuck on this beautiful 3rd of March, 2025. Good things for you all out there. Take care, and just keep your wits about you. Just help each other out. Do your best to be kind and considerate. and just hold fast, hold the line, like my convoy friends used to say, right? And like I always say too, humanity and merit wins the day. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now, folks.